Thank you for joining us again today. I hope you had a good evening. Maybe some of you enjoyed the Christmas market in Cologne. It was still not raining yesterday night, so should have been okay. And the Glühwein, hopefully this morning you still have no headaches and you can concentrate on what's very important for us, the safety workshop, and in the frame of the European Safety Network, Rotorcraft. And you have a good flavor of the team here, and I'm glad to introduce them. The first aspect will be the introduction of the safety workshop by Michel Masson, a well-known folks in EASA in the area of rotorcraft safety. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to welcome you on board our safety workshop 2019. Man-machine interaction, as you will hear from us this morning, is an important part of performance and safety. That means for me that I have to find out to operate this, and I suppose it's a green button, right? So you will hear different presenters in the introduction. Myself from EASA, Bernd Osswald, also coordinator of the ESPN-R from Airbus helicopters, and Christian Mueller, representing EHA, who has joined the team this year. You were not on stage last year, Christian, so it's a real pleasure to have EHA representing the operators on board too. Yeah, right. It's an event that we have the pleasure to co-organize together with the IHSF, formerly known as AKA IHST. As we use a lot of acronyms, right? And we as ESPNR used to be known as EAST until 2016, actually. And what is it all about? It's a worldwide effort. It's a partnership to improve helicopter safety. It is evident that each of our organizations do things on their own. But the idea that was launched, I think it was in 2005. Well, time is passing by quickly, right, Tony? Correct me if I'm wrong. By the people in what was about to become IHST, was to say that the safety records, the safety performance for helicopter is not good enough, and we must do something about it. And that was the idea to work together a little bit on the model of a CAST in the US. For those who know it, it's a very well-known safety initiative for fixed wing, and get together. And basically ESPN-R, which was kind of recreated in 2017, thanks to the ARCOM, the Rotorcraft Committee of EASA, is the European component of this worldwide effort called and known as IHSF. And we work hand in hand, and we're pleased to do that. It's important, and it's a lot of fun, I would say, as well. So, well, I think that my job is done already, and I pass it to Bernd. Is it Bernd? Where are you? Ah, you're here. Hey, okay.
I go that way.
That's the remote control.
So, good morning again. So what you see here on that slide is our four main areas, our focus we are concentrating on, and we have 4 teams currently. So this is for training, and this is our biggest team basically. So there are many people contributing it, and this is very appreciated. So thanks for that. And then there is Ops and SMS with Stefano Burigana. And coming back to the training team, the leader is Mathieu, and you might see him again on the video, or you have seen him yesterday, so thanks for this great acting performance, very good. And then there is the team technology. This is based in Netherlands, so there's Jos Stevens heading this team. And then, not to forget, we have created the Hoist Safety Promotion Task Force, led by Alexander Weissenberg. And we have, meanwhile, as well, more than 330 members on that one. Thanks for this contribution as well. And the prognosis is that we will have a 5th, maybe next year. So that will be tackling about sling load operation. So we have to figure out who will be the manager of the team in the end. But I think we have some more tasks to do in 2020. So what we are here for is, of course, to streamline with the European Plan of Aviation Safety. And the ESPN-R has some dedicated remit from this EPAS. So there are two main activities. The one is to organize the annual safety workshop, which is this today, basically. And we had the smart idea to combine the technology stuff. So safety benefits from technologies is the topic today for this morning, and we are concentrating on that. So as well, some strategy paper. This is the EASA safety roadmap, Rotorcraft safety roadmap, what we see here. And the strategic objectives of this is to improve safety by really 50%. That means, dedicatedly said, reduce the accident rate within 10 years by 50%. So this is our big target, and we try to contribute in the with the safety promotion with ESPN-R in that one to make as well a positive impact within the next 5 years, to be visible on a positive impact. So what we will do as well is develop performance-based and proportionate solutions, which means in terms of safety promotion, or as well for the OEMs, to contribute with technologies. And we will hear something about this later on. There is dedicated presentations.
So now, as you can see, we have a very diverse group of pilots and staff that we want to address. And as you can see in what we have done, we have tried to address different audiences, different types of pilots. I think one of the big successes that we can talk about this year is the production of the safety apps. Airbus helicopters, Leonardo and NGFT have produced apps that will allow a pre-flight risk assessment. So we want to make pilots aware of what the major risks in that type of operation are. And we are able to actually roll out different types of operations. So a student pilot can already start to do these things, to do these assessments, as well as a professional pilot who actually is going on a more dangerous mission. Also, we've been able to produce a significant number of videos and other publications. I think it's really important nowadays that we have this kind of videos and movies online that actually show the major parts of what needs to be done in certain situations. So we have, in collaboration with Airbus Helicopters and Leonardo, been able to produce 2 videos, and those are also available on the websites. Now, in the past, we have produced quite a lot of number of publications, and we have been able to put them all on the safety promotion website. I think it's really important that everybody is able to find the relevant information in one place, and the EASA website is the best place to do that. Now, we don't want to reinvent the wheel, so we also have linked to documents that have already been published, also by the International Helicopter Safety Foundation. So it's really important that we leverage what has already been published, because we do not have to reinvent the wheel. Now, the LinkedIn forums nowadays are the platform to exchange information and start a discussion. I think it's really important that we approach pilots, crew members, and engage them in a discussion, and also that have them talk about their experiences. So far, we have the ESPN-R Safety Promotion Network Rotorcraft LinkedIn group, led by Michel Masson. And also we have the Hoist Operation Safety Promotion, where we have now in total more than 2,000 members and people contributing, looking at the material and looking at the information. We are looking at the aerial work part as a next group that we want to start, because we believe that aerial work is the area where we could have most impact going down in 2020. Now, of course, with modern media, it's not just LinkedIn groups, but we also have to inform people on a regular basis, and EASA has come up with the Rotor Chat.
Yeah, so some of you may have seen we had our podcast equipment out on show yesterday. I've talked to so many people about it. It was probably quite nice to actually see what we were talking about. Here's me in our makeshift studio. It's a think tank, but as you see, the kit's fairly portable. And we thought, we see so many people, commuting to work in their car, on trains and things. And certainly a lot of us listen to podcasts of all different types. So we thought it'd be useful to do a helicopter Rotorcraft podcast. So we did a launch edition that we launched on Thursday last week. There's a link. We use a tool called Anchor FM, and there's a link that we publish to that. But if you go now to Spotify, if you're on Spotify or Google Podcasts or many other podcasting kind of apps, you can find Rotor Chat and you can subscribe. It will be also on Apple Podcasts, but the approval process, there's a backlog with Apple, so it'll take another 2 weeks, unfortunately, for Apple. And then the goal ultimately is we do this once a month. We have our kind of topic of the month. You hear from some of us at EASA, but then the main thing is for the future ones, is to involve all sorts of other people. A huge thanks to Tim Fauchon as the ARCOM chair, who did a call-in to the first podcast. But hopefully you'll look forward to hearing more from all sorts of people in the helicopter community. And hopefully, if you have interest to join us as a special guest on the podcast, do contact us. We'd love to hear from you and have you involved in one of our podcasts. Before I hand on to the next bit, some of you might remember I stood on this stage last year and promised there would be a big helicopter button on the EASA website at some point. EASA are currently going through a big change to our website now, so we will get the first kind of draft from our side of what that new safety promotion portal will look like. So we will be launching that fairly soon, so it won't be just where it is now, kind of buried a little bit on the website. So we haven't forgotten it, and it is coming. Christian.
So let's look at what we have in store for you this morning. But before we begin, I would like to ask you all, please spread the word, because we need to reach these pilots. We need to reach the task specialists. We need to reach the employees in the helicopter companies. We need to make sure that they know that there is information out there that will give them information on making their job safer, and in turn, making our industry safer. So it's a job of all of us to spread the word, link in, and join the discussion. So what are we going to do this morning? First of all, we have Bruce Webb, who will be talking about technological developments in the human-machine interface. We will have then Tony Molinaro, who will be talking about the IHSF actions involving technology, and not as published in the program, but correctly on here. We will see what the future holds, and Thomas Gogel will talk about this part. Then finally, after the coffee break, we'll talk about handling automation and flight path management by Bettina Schleit, and then John Franklin will wrap up the workshop before lunch.